Inversion is a third-person shooter with a difference, or at least that's what it would like you to think. The difference being that on the streets of Vanguard City, the normal laws of gravity no longer apply. Down is up, and occasionally it's left, or even right. While this undoubtedly has the potential for exciting gameplay, it's a conceit that is never fully explored, and so it remains little more than a flimsy gimmick, and one hopelessly incapable of hiding the fact that Inversion is at best a middling third-person shooter. Take away its gravity-meddling premise, and there's something very familiar about this game. The guns and characters are frightfully generic, and the environments invoke a strong feeling of déjà vu. The broken cityscapes and parched badlands where hulking savages run amok strongly recall Gears of War, but Inversion lacks the same high-quality finish. But what's more unforgivable than its insipid presentation is the way in which Inversion indolently recycles the same mini-boss battles. One enemy you'll face multiple times is the Slave Driver, a grotesque slob who summons legions of emaciated crazies to attack you. And you'll fight him again and again across different settings. It's not that these encounters are inherently bad, but with each iteration they feel more and more like padding, a cheap way to protract Inversion's 7 to 8 hour campaign time. Inversion's probably at its most enjoyable played cooperatively with a friend. The camaraderie will not only see you through the game's duller sections, but pay off towards the end when the game offers up one or two severe difficulty spikes. It's the meddling with physics where Inversion really attempts to distinguish itself from the herd. Initially, you can only create pockets of zero gravity, but once you start to play around with it, you realise it's nothing really new. When you hoist enemies out of cover, you'll be reminded of Mass Effect's Singularity Biotic, and when you use the grav-link to hurl floating objects across the screen, you'll have flashbacks to Dead Space's stasis ability. But Inversion executes neither very well. Instead of it being a fine tool allowing for interesting gameplay possibilities to unfold, the grav-link's a blunt instrument, which is at its most effective, unsurprisingly, when throwing things. Inversion also boasts combat within zero gravity. It sounds exhilarating, but again, the execution kills the mind-bending promise. Moving between cover isn't as fluid as it should be. It won't always let you select the one you want. And during those moments of irritating indecision, while tussling with the temperamental controls, you're likely to get killed. The saddest thing is, it encourages you to adopt a conservative style of play. There are moments, however, when Inversion almost realises the potential of its central conceit, but they're fleeting. They come mainly when your centre of gravity shifts, known as vector shifts, and the battlefield is turned on its side. The floor suddenly becomes the side of a building, from which you can shoot the lootador on the street below. But the game never really fully explores the strange possibilities this could have had on level design. And so most of Inversion unfolds along a singular plane where the mind is bored, not bent.
Look at this. I think the ceiling's going to become the floor.
Inversion is a disparate collection of ideas grouped around the conceit of gravity. Some are more fleshed out than others, but none are executed to their fullest potential. You'll use them when you have to, but more often than not, Inversion is most enjoyable when played as a straightforward shooter. It's not a terrible game, just a bit average, and it's in these moments in which you glimpse its unrealised potential that really bring it down.